Open your mind.
Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I believe it was, I did a video, Alien Demon Deception on LOM. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. I find this stuff very interesting, and I know this is a survival channel, but to me, knowledge is part of survival. And the more I grow in my faith, the more I actually research into a lot of this stuff with alien demon deception going on. Just because I honestly feel like that's the direction our society's headed in, with all the, UFO sightings and all this alien information coming out, all this undercover stuff that they've released over the last course of several months or years. And I'm sorry if you're just here for survival videos. I do those too. A lot of what I do these videos on this is me. This is my personality. These are things that interest me. These are things that I want to get information out about to people. And I realize that not every video is going to apply to you as far as being interested. And I'm going to try to get some playlists together. I'm sorry I've lacked in that area, but so I know my videos are all over the place, but here very soon I'm going to be making some playlists and try to separate this stuff out for you people that aren't quite as interested in this sort of stuff. But like I said, part of my faith is being able to get information out, part of the deception out, so people maybe won't be fooled in the near future. So upon doing a bunch of reading today, jumping down in the rabbit hole, I ran across some stuff that I found very interesting. It's been around for a while, but maybe it's something I've just missed. But so I wanted to talk about Raelism, and pardon me if I don't pronounce all the names and words right in this story. I'm just an Okie, and I'm trying to pronounce these things the best I can. But it's the religion of Raelism, if you want to call it a religion. It's more of a cult, really. But apparently it's got a fairly decent following. So the founder of this religion, Claude Rael, or as he's known to his followers as Rael. Rael started his journey as a musician and actually had a promising hit single. He also had a promising career as a sports car driver. He even published his own magazine, Autopop, in 1971. But in France in 1973, his life took a strange turn. That year, he claims he received a visit from an extraterrestrial being that called itself Yahweh. As it turns out, Yahweh had an extremely important message for Volhan to relay to the people of Earth. According to Yahweh, humanity was the result of a genetic experience by an advanced race of aliens called the Elohim. The Elohim mated with human women to create prophets on earth to reveal this truth, like Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad. Yes, all three were half alien. In fact, Rohan eventually claimed he got the chance to meet them on another planet. And I'm just reading through one article here. I've been reading on this stuff all day long. If this is something that really interests you, you can start with Wikipedia. And I'm not standing behind Wikipedia here. That's not the know-all, end-all of a source of information, but there is a lot on there about his founding and himself. And what I found interesting, honestly, on the Wikipedia page was that when it actually talked about this, Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad, usually on there it'll have certain keywords or phrases that'll be in blue. You can click on it, it'll have a link to another Wikipedia page. I found it very interesting that Buddha and Muhammad both had one, but not Jesus. Rather odd. But he claims because humans were so primitive, they weren't capable of understanding these prophets' messages and made religions around them instead. So it was up to Volhan to correct these mistakes of the past. Claude Volhan took a new alien name, Rael, and set out to spread the alien message across Earth. Basically, Raelism is based around the idea of improving humanity to the point that Elohim will be able to visit, and on that day, they'll help set up a new society without hunger, war, or suffering. To that end, Raelism has a few basic tenets that believers should follow. First, they must reject any of the rules of established religions about sexuality, Raelism teaches that love should be free and in no way seem as shameful. Second, they advocate for universal peace and understanding across humanity. And the more you read into this guy, I didn't really express it a lot in this article, but the more you read about this guy, he was pretty perverse. And his wife of 15 years, and he had 2 children with, she ended up leaving him, and she described it as just constantly having sex with other women, big orgies, all that sort of perversion around the children as well. And when she actually left him, they actually had nothing to do with her for several years. They were so sucked into the cult that they were in, their father was in. One of the most important beliefs in Raelism is that humans need perfect cloning technology. Apparently, aliens have already done this, and to use it to transfer their minds to new bodies when they die. According to Rael, Jesus' resurrection is a good example, and by perfecting cloning, Rael believes that humans can also achieve mortality. You see, advanced alien supercomputers are recording your DNA right now, and one day when the aliens return, they will judge your life to decide if you get a new cloned body. If you lived a good life, you get to live forever by swapping out bodies. If you were evil or just didn't do anything particularly positive for others, then they don't. The ultimate goal of Raelism is to create both a perfect society and an embassy for the aliens to visit Earth. Ideally, Rael wants this embassy to be in Israel, since the Hebrew people were the first to be contacted by these aliens. But he isn't specifically picky about that part. As far as perfect society goes, Rael has suggested establishing a geniocracy, essentially a worldwide democracy, but only smart people get to vote. To join Raelism, you simply have to embrace these beliefs and reject all other religions. Then there's an official baptism ceremony which helps to transfer your DNA to the aliens so that you can be recognized as a Raelian. Alright, this guy is crazy, but all it basically boils down to, whether you're talking about Aleister Crowley with the Lam thing or this guy, they want you to denounce God. They want you to denounce Jesus. It's always perverse. Every story about any of these cults or anything to do with aliens and demons and stuff, those type of cults and religions all embrace perversion. This guy even embraces the LGB, totally into thinking, aliens and humans alike, sexuality should be expressed. I guess he probably enjoys pronouns, I don't know. They encourage something called sensual meditation. This involves using all your senses to get in touch with the universe. First day talking here. And as you might have guessed, it's done while naked. It's hard to say exactly how many Raelians there are, but the official estimate by religion is about 85,000. Pretty good little following for a cult. And I know, as far-fetched as it sounds, a lot of you are thinking, how could anybody be deceived and fall for something like this? Well, the more prominent the UFO thing and aliens and stuff get in our society, all it would basically, all these stories boil down to is aliens coming back saying that they created man, and boom, a lot of people without a lot of faith are going to denounce God and go right into it. So it's kind of scary stuff. And what actually got me onto this guy and started reading about him was I was researching cloning. And maybe you guys are aware of this company. I had no idea until I started reading a lot about this stuff, but there's actually a company called Clonaid, and it's the world's leading provider in cloning human beings. And Eve, the first cloned baby, was born December 26, 2002, thanks to their team of highly skilled scientists. Since they've been able to help a number of patients have their own children through cloning technology. And I guess this was a thing there for a while, and it was getting a lot of media coverage back in the early 2000s. And basically they ended up not coming out with any DNA samples or anything to prove legitimacy of this. But I mean, they actually have a website. I'm actually reading this off of the website. So if you want to look it up, it's cloneaid.com. And they apparently can clone you if you want. If you got enough money. I think it's like 200 grand. But it says here on their website, CloneAid can help you if you're sterile and have lost hope of having the child you dream of, if you're a homosexual and deeply desire a child who would carry your own genes, if you've just lost or about to lose a beloved family member and would like to see an identical twin of that person begin a new life, if you're HIV positive and want to have a child that would be your genetic twin without infecting either the baby or your partner with the virus, or if you simply just want to be cloned, whatever your reasons may be. This is the era we're living in, and like I said, as crazy as this guy seems, as crazy as this religion, if you want to call it that, seems, this is the new age, and this is what we're going to. This is just one example. I've read about several people like this, honestly, and all the more reason to do research on this stuff. Like I've talked about over and over and over, the deception is going to start becoming more and more prominent in the world. Look at all the crazy stuff going on. Aliens aren't too far-fetched, and for aliens to come here and say that they're gods, maybe that's not too far-fetched for a lot of people either. So might want to look into it. God bless y'all, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.